Hello everyone, my name is Kingsley. I'm a software developer, and today I'll be showing you how to create simple password visual validation in React.js. We'll be using a framework called Next.js. Well, that's actually what React is heading towards these days. Okay, so let me show you exactly what I want us to implement. All right, so this is what I want us to implement. If you look at this site, is an application I built. It's a content management system, or like a blog application with content management system. I have videos of this. You can check it out if you want. So, but this is what I want us to implement, which I implemented on the application. You can see there's a visual validation here, not less than 8 characters, at least one number, at least one uppercase letter, at least one lowercase letter, at least one special character. So you can see as you begin to type, it all of these conditions will begin to be met. So you can say, let me type a number. You can see at least one number condition has been met. Let me type one lowercase. You can see at least one lowercase has been met. Let me type one uppercase. You can see one uppercase, at least one uppercase condition has been met. Let me type one special character. So you can see at least one special character condition has been met. So it said at least 8 characters, so you can just make the rest to be a number until you get to it. So you can see all the conditions have been met. So you can see when you're meeting the condition, but mind you, the validation is done from the server side. There is no proper validation on the front end or the client side. You do your password validation from the back end. All right. This is just visually displaying you meeting the conditions that be stated on the back end. All of these conditions have been stated on the back end. So if you don't meet them, you won't be able to register on this application. But it looks funny if you don't have anything visualizing what you're doing. So that's actually what this stands for. So let's see how we can implement this using Next.js. So the first thing we just have to do is to install Nextjs. This is Nextjs documentation, so you can just install Nextjs using this line of code, and I want to call this password. Right, name of the app is password, and I install. Now it takes some time to install depending on how fast your internet is. I don't want to install with TypeScript. This should be yes. I don't need this, so it has to be no. I don't also need the src folder. I'm not experimenting with the app folder. That's a new next direction. Then here start installing. Alright, so we are done installing the next application, and this is not a Next.js tutorial. It's assumed that you already know Next.js. So once you're done installing it, you could start it up. If you go to your package.json file, you will see the command script code to start it. So I would say I'll go into the folder, this password, cd password, then I can run npm run dev, this command line, to start Next.js in development environment. Okay, and Next.js has started. Let's check it out on our local storage, localhost 3000. So you can see on Next.js application. So here you can begin to, and let's remove all of this. We don't really need this. So to do that, you go to pages, go to index. I'll be removing all of this so I can write my own code. So all of this sample, all of this will be removed. I don't need them. And I can go to style. I personally don't need this for this tutorial, so I can remove this. I think that's all, nothing else. So if you now check the app, you will see it this way. So even on the global css, I want to remove all of these predefined css values. So you can see it's now white background. So let's quickly code this. It's going to be very basic, no much of styling. This is the parent div, so I can come here and call it main div, and I want the weight to be 100%. I want the height to be 100 vh. I want to have a display of flex, and I want justify content to be center. Okay, that is okay, and I can just copy it and call the class name here. Class should be main div, and now here I can create the inbox value. For here I need under very basic. I can call this sub div, whatever I like, and width of this one should be probably 30%. Let's see. The background color, usually I get my background from this website, okay, htmlcolor.com. So I'll be using this particular color. Okay, so I can use this sub div here. Sub div will be here, class name. So if you check now, you can see it's coming to life, and I want the height to be probably 40%. Height should be 40%. If you check it out now, you see something like this. I want to have a margin top of 100 pixel. Just want to bring it down a little bit. Okay, something like this. That's fine. I want to add border radius of 15 pixel. Okay, that's okay. I want to add box shadow. I usually use this website for CSS box shadow. CSS box shadow. I usually use this site. You can see it here. This is a site. So I will leave it on the description. Usually you can find every CSS box shadow that you like. Just copy it. I want this one. Just copy this one. And I go here. I want this to have box shadow, and I paste it. Okay, that's fair enough. You can see the box shadow here. So okay, so let's add we just need uh name, email, and password. Okay, that's all. We don't need any other thing. So we can see label. We don't need label for, just for demo. So there should be name, and under it we need input, and input is a text. Okay, I don't need all of this here. Placeholder should be name. That's it. So I can just copy all of this. Okay, let me just type this. I can copy it actually. So this div here, I will need to make this div. I need to make this div a display of flex, and flex direction should be column. Let's see. Okay, so want it down this way. So let's give little padding because I want padding for up should be 10 pixel. I think everything should be 10 pixel probably. Let's see. Okay, that's fair enough. So have this little tiny space here. Let's give very basic custom inputs for the inputs, and we want border to be none. All right, so we want border to be none. So let's implement this. So we'll see it change live. Let's add class name here. This class name. So now we can see we've removed the border, but you can see the outline, it still comes up. So let's remove the outline. Outline should be none. Okay, so now you don't have that line when you place your focus here. So next thing, we can just add some basic padding. That should be okay. For the top, we should make it 10 pixel. I think all of them being 10 pixels fair enough. Let's see. Okay, so that's fair. So you can see it's okay. And then I need border bottom. I want it 1 pixel solid, and I want it to be gray. So to give that little line down here, so you can see that is nice. And what next? We need to bring this down a little bit. So margin top should be 5 pixel. Let it get down a little bit from name. Okay, so that is fair enough. And all right, nothing fancy again. I think I can have custom label, nothing much actually. Just say margin top. Margin top should be 5 pixel. So I can just implement this on the label. For the label, we just need class name. So this way the label goes down a little bit. Okay, that is fair enough. Alright, so nothing more fancy. We're okay with this very basic design. So this is just to show you how the input validation works. For the front end, it's going to be email and label for email. Okay, we need one more for password. This is password, and this should be password. So you can make this 10 pixel. Let's see, that would create the effects. Okay, created the separation a little bit. So we also want to separate the input. Probably the input should have up to 10 pixel. All right, so they are separated now from the label. So this is fair enough. We are okay with this. Now we need to also implement these words that we need. All right, so let's quickly do that. We can actually do that here by creating new div, and so this div we can create this text. We are testing how many things we want to check for. At least excuse me, at least 8 characters. All right, what else? 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 8 characters, at least one uppercase letter, at least one lowercase. Character. Okay, character. Okay, what else? At least minimum. Okay, this should be like minimum of 8 characters, at least one number. What else are we checking? At least one special character, at least one special character. Okay, I think this is all we are testing. If we have any other thing, I will add it later. So let's look at it here. So you can see it here, and it's overlapping. So let's just increase the size of the div, of the parent div, to 45. Let's say 45. This should cover it. Okay, that's fair enough. So all of them will be red at default. So let's just create a red class, color red, and also let's create green. When the condition is met, it turns green. All right, so let's just add all of them to. Okay, we'll change the color later. Okay, that is fair. All right, so let's begin the implementation proper. We need to import use state from React. So say const. For now, we are setting user details. Set user details. This is from React. Use state. It is going to be an object that takes in name. By default is empty. Email by default is empty, and password by default is empty. So this is the state that handles the user input details. We also need another state const. First we need to import use state from React. We also need to import use effects from React. Okay, so let's create another state. We'll call this one password. Call this one pass validation. Set pass validation. These are other states that we'll be using to validate the entire password. So use states, and here we'll state all cases that we want to test. We want to test for all the cases that we want to test. We want to test for number. So pass num. This checks for number. We also want to check for minimum character. This checks for minimum character. So this contains the conditions that we want to check. We are checking for at least a number. This stands for pass num. We also want to check for minimum character, which should be at least 8. What there's we want to check for password lower. We by default is null. We want to check pass upper. This for uppercase. No. What else are we checking? Special character. Pass special. That's for password special character. So we've created the objects that we store the values that we'll be testing on the password. Now we need to create a use effect. Now this use effect runs the background as we are typing the password runs. So it's going to have a dependency of user details dot password. So it depends on when the state of this password changes, it runs. All right, so that's why when you're typing, it works. Now this is going to contain some codes. We want to declare the variables that we want to be checking. So we'll be using regular expression. So we'll say const has number. So const has number equals to regular expression. So we are checking for number. We also want to test for const has uppercase equals to, so this is regular expression to check for uppercase in a given string. We also want to check for const has lower case equals to, okay, const has lower case. What else we want to check? We've checked for number. We've declared the number variable, also declared for uppercase, lowercase. We need to check for special character, so has special character equals, so let's use regular expression for this as well. These are regular expressions. You can read more about regular expressions. Then we can check for length, const pass length. Okay, pass length will just have to be equals to the password length. It's going to be user details dot password dot length. So we'll get the length there. Now we have all these variables. We can now use it to test. We'll be using JavaScript test method. JavaScript test method returns true or false. So let's check for the number. So we can say test. So we can say const pass number, ensuring that the password contains a number. So we'll say has number dot tests. So it is testing for user details dot password. Okay, so it's checking that the password that you input in has a number in it. All right, let's check for uppercase equals to has uppercase dot test. We are doing the same thing, user details dot password. Remember, this is coming from this. This is actually where the user types their password. So he picks this state and is passing it here. So as you're typing the password, it's checking if it has uppercase or number. So let's check for another thing. We're checking for lowercase. Cons lowercase equals to has lowercase dot text, and we are passing in user details dot password. Okay, what else are we checking? Right, cons special character equals to has special dot text. Remember, it's going to return true or false dot password. Okay, right now we have set all of these, and we need to make these conditions that we've written inside this use effect to be available outside this um, environment, so that we can have access to it here to test it. And to do that, so we need to set these states. This is why this is now important. Okay, we need to set these states with all the variables, all the conditions that we've tested here. So to do that, we'll now say set password validate, going to be an object that will be testing all of this. Pass number will be an object that will be testing all of this. Pass num is going to check for pass num, so it's going to check pass num, so it's checking this. What else? We are checking for min character. Min character we check for okay, it will use this to check for its pass length. So pass length, we want to check for the next pass lower. Pass lower, we need lowercase. We also want to check for pass upper. Pass upper checks for uppercase, and we just need to pass this variable to it, uppercase. Also need to check pass special. Pass special will be using special character. So you can see we have now set all the conditions that are coming from here. Look at all the test conditions are being passed as variable. Remember, it runs each time this use effect is fired. Each time the password is time you type into the password, this use effect gets fired. So it checks this test and updates these values here individually. So you can now check for these values. Okay, so let's test our code. So if we come here, we need to pass in these conditions. So what are we going to do now? So we have all of these conditions set here. So we can now say password validate. So we can say class name. In class name, we'll test certain things. We want to check for pass validate. Pass validate dot, this is minimum number, right? Minimum, that is minimum of its character. So minimum character is what we are checking. Now if minimum character is less than 8, if it's less than 8, then the class that will be here will have red because it has not passed. Otherwise we'll have green. Please remember that these red and green classes are coming from here. So if you do that, you should have this in red because this is not yet up to 8 characters. So what else are we checking? We want to check for uppercase, at least one uppercase. So to check for that, we'll pass a class, and inside the class we'll check for password validate dot pass upper, so at least one uppercase, pass upper. Now if pass upper is true, we want to have green, otherwise give us red. So you can see this will be red. Good. Let's check for lower, at least one lowercase. So we'll say pass validate. We want to test for lowercase. Pass validate is checking for pass lower. If pass lower is true, give us if it is true, give us green, that means that's passed. Otherwise give us red. You're getting it, because the test method in JavaScript returns true or false. So if it passes this true, if it says it has lowercase, it tells you true, then it has to be green. If it says it doesn't have lowercase, it will return false, and that's where it is red. All right, that's actually what's going on here. So here we are checking for at least one number. So we'll say class name, and here we will say pass validate dot, we are checking for number, so pass num. The pass num is true, give us green, otherwise use red. What else are we checking? Special character. So let's check class name, pass validates dot special character special. If it is true, give us green, otherwise give us red. So we should just have something like a button here, submit button. So button, say submit. We are not actually submitting anything here anyway, just to make it look fancy. So we can say custom btn, just make it look fancy. So we'll say actually like putting my button in a div, so I can have total control of the width. So I can say, so you can see, so now I can control it. I can say custom btn div, and so here I can pass this btn div. So I can pass this btn to this class of the div here. So say class. So so here we can say the width is 100%, and we can say display is flex. We can say justify content is center. So this way we can push the button to the middle, and so we can give padding bottom to like 20 pixel to create that little space. Okay, we need to put the padding bottom here, or we can increase the can increase it here. You can actually add it here, you can increase it. Okay, so you can see padding bottom, we can make it 30. You can increase the height whichever way, it's fine. It's okay. Then we can do custom btn. We can style the button. So the button can have class name of this, because this source code will be made available for you, so I'm just trying to make it look a little bit basic. So here we can say padding, we're interested in up to be around 10 pixel, right should be 30 pixel, down should be 10 pixel, the left should be 30 pixel. If you check it now, okay, or something like this, I can increase, let me see, you can see it's increasing. What if we make it 70? Okay, make this 70 probably. Okay, that is fair enough. And so this, we can increase this to 50, the height of the parent div to be 50, so it has a little space. Okay, it's too much, you can make it 47. Okay, yeah, it's fair enough. All right, the button has come to life. Outline should be none, border should be none. So now you can see, let's give it cursor pointer. So now it looks selectable. Let's make the background color to be black. Let's see. Okay, this color doesn't look nice, so let's just take something from here, probably something like this. Okay, color should be white. Nice. And border radius should be 10 pixel. Okay, I think this is fair enough. And so you can see this is it. You can take this and do whatever you want to do with it. Now let's test this code and see. On the password section, if we type a number, currently you can't see this, so let's make this not to be a password so you can see what I'm typing. So instead of making this a password, let's make it a text here so you can see what I'm typing. So yeah, let's test for lowercase. Okay, it's actually not working yet because I have not actually implemented the set state for this. The states for this have not been determined. Pardon me. So you can see this input does not have any unchange events here. So let's just implement the unchange events here. I think we just need it for, okay, let's just do it for all unchange. Right, yeah, unchange events, and we are using a function calling the value and passing it to set user details. On the set user details, we're spreading the previous states that we have there, and user details, and then we'll say this is for name. Name is equals to e dot targets dot value. Okay, this is just your basic React. You can pass that to all of the states here. So this time around, this is for email. Change this for email. Then this is for password. Change this for password. This way we are actually now setting these states, these password states, these user detail states. So if we go back here, so you can see now I have typed lowercase letter, and you can see this has changed to green, at least one lowercase character. If I type one uppercase, you can see at least one uppercase character has changed to green because the condition has been met. I need at least a number. If I type a number, you can see at least one number, condition has been met. You need one special character, as you can see this special character has been met. You need at least 8 characters for the password, so just make it 8. You can see all of the conditions have been met, and if you delete them instantly, they are changing. Immediately delete them, so it is updating instantly as you're typing. So that is it. So this is how to do visual password validation. You can extend this feature, you can add graph you want, whatever you want to do, but this is just basic. I like making the web interface as simple as possible, so I use this for password validation. Remember, it is just for visual purpose. The proper validation should be done on the back end. All of this implementation must have been done on your server before you do these visual parts on your client side. Thank you for watching.